Hello, this is our website, www.foresightfacts.com, and this is how you access the newly developed yet incomplete order section. Go to the Foresight Facts P75 menu, select Pricing Guide, and then the hierarchical menu Order. The password you'll be prompted for the first time in is the word password. And there's a couple of items that I want to go over that need correcting. The first item is the number of users. Whenever it changes, the web client users should also change to reflect the same number. So if I change number of users to 10, then the web client users should also change to 10. Okay. These are options, and this is a prelude to a customer placing an order. It serves essentially as a quote mechanism until they're ready to order. Now, there's a coupon plugin that was written for us in PHP, and it's accessible from our WordPress website, where you can see that the coupon codes have a discount, a start date, and an end date, and of course the coupon code name. And this will be looked up in the coupon code. This is actually working properly, and it's applying the discount. And now we're going to get into the order section of the system. I'm going to go ahead and select a modem here, and this is the setup and the prelude to a customer actually placing an order. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on the order now. So far there was only one item to change, and that was to make sure the web client users reflected the same number of users in the base licensing. So I'm going to go ahead and type in and use some of the default mechanisms, and then I'm going to go ahead and complete the work here. Now, there is a tool here to copy the billing information to the shipping, and if I check that, then when I continue to the next page, I will be able to see the same information here in the billing reflected in the shipping. Now note here that clicking up here doesn't work. It actually resets everything. So there's a problem in all the tabs where the code is actually not working, and you can see here all the information that I just typed got wiped out. The only way to advance from page to page is by clicking on the Save and Continue. So let me go ahead and reset this. And now I've got the data filled in. I'm going to click on the Copy Bill to Ship, and you'll note here that whatever code is behind the Save and Continue, it should also be triggered when I jump from the billing to the shipping. And we presume that users will be using this as often as they use this, but when they find out that they click on one of these, it'll wipe out all their data, they're not going to be happy. So we either need these not to be enabled, but we ultimately prefer that they are enabled and they have the code and the logic to jump to the next page, just as it's shown here in the Save and Continue. Now this is operating correctly with the Save and Continue. And then lastly, I want to go ahead and enter in the payment information. You can see here I clicked on the payment up there. It also doesn't move ahead. So I'll go ahead and I'll click on this. I'm going to go ahead and enter in some bogus credit card information, and then I'll go ahead and I'll click on Save and Continue. This part should work, and it should work with our net authorized system. We can provide our net authorized access codes, and we can also provide our PayPal, which we have PayPal, I think it's PayPal Pro or PayPal Advanced. It's not the free one, but it's not the expensive one. It's the middle one that PayPal lets you use. So lastly, we'll go ahead and we'll do the Save and Continue, and this actually is accurate. This is no problems here. It reflects the information. It shows what we want to show. The order part of the system is the last piece, and it basically will send a PDF file, and it also has to call the piece of code you're working on, Anchor, the part where the licensing and the serial numbers are created for this customer. So if you're looking for a place where to insert your code in order to hand back the string, because you'll notice here in a second that when I click on order, receive this, and I'll click on return website. This should go away here. What I will show you is what gets sent to us. And here it is. This is what it looks like. It's not formatted correctly, but you'll notice that there's a number of mistakes here. And if you look at the zip file that we provided, inside there is an invoice, and that invoice will outline all the problems with the PDF file that you see here. Lastly, this information over here, it says V75 serial number and the machine ID, the activation code. All this information here is what you will be providing from the CodeGen program at the point where they click on order. You'll be passing it back to this method that calls and creates this invoice in a PDF format. And this information will actually be created by your code in your project. And I've outlined all the pieces that need to be done. And you can see there's not that many items that need to be finished, but this generally requires a little bit more formatting. So we're really not far away from being completed with the project. The trick will be to get you up to speed on understanding where all the methods are, how to make changes, know where to go, and that's kind of where we're trying to get the other fellow. He did a decent job. He just ran out of time, and he got involved in some other projects, and he's not been able to complete the last bit of work, and it's been kind of running on. So our hope is that you can come in, and with a little bit of guidance, you can figure out where everything is and clean it up and go from there. He talked about some Zen framework, and I don't know much about that, but it was a tool within WordPress. Maybe it was a plugin that was used. And he talked about needing to understand that, and lastly, to understand where everything was located. But this is a summary of the remaining work to be done on the orders portion of our project. And there's one other item, that is, we've not yet tested or checked out the net authorized and the PayPal to make sure that all the codes are working on. Our net authorized system and our PayPal are running in test mode right now, but we don't know for certain if everything is ready to go live, and that's kind of where we need you to come in and help.